In April 1775, the streets of Boston were dark and silent, except for the soft clatter of hooves on cobblestones. Paul Revere, a silversmith and patriot, prepared for a ride that would change the course of history. The American colonies were on the brink of revolution, and tensions with British authorities were reaching a boiling point. Revere had been alerted that British troops planned to march toward Lexington and Concord, aiming to seize colonial arms and ammunition. Revere's mission was simple but dangerous: warn the colonial militias that the British were coming. As night fell, he mounted his horse, and the famous warning signal, one lantern in the Old North Church if by land, two if by sea, was already in place. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, Revere galloped through the quiet countryside, alerting farmers, blacksmiths, and fellow patriots along the way. Every stop carried immense risk. British patrols were everywhere, and being caught could mean imprisonment or death. The townsfolk responded with courage. Bells rang in churches, and messengers raced to spread the warning further. Soon the countryside echoed with the news: "The British are coming!" Thanks to Revere's ride, colonial militias were ready when the redcoats arrived. At Lexington, a small group of armed colonists stood their ground. Though outnumbered, they held firm, and the first shots of the American Revolution were fired. The shot heard round the world. Revere's midnight ride had helped ignite a movement that would lead to the birth of a new nation. Beyond the immediate military impact, Revere's journey became a symbol of courage and vigilance. Schools teach his story as a lesson in bravery, and poets like Henry Wadsworth Longfellow immortalized his ride in verse. The event reminds Americans that ordinary citizens can make an extraordinary difference when they stand up for freedom and justice. Today, visitors to Boston can walk along the historic Freedom Trail, tracing the path Revere once rode. Museums preserve his silverwork, letters, and maps, connecting present-day Americans to the courage of those who fought for independence. Paul Revere's ride was more than a warning. It was a spark that lit the flame of liberty, a reminder that vigilance, determination, and courage can shape the destiny of a nation. In every telling of the story, the rhythm of galloping hooves seems to echo across centuries, urging each new generation to remember the sacrifices made for freedom and to cherish the independence that Revere and countless others helped secure.